I want to talk to you in this recording about an amazing encounter we had, a very meaningful one with one of the individuals who was a part of the community in which we lived when we moved from Jerusalem down to Herzliya, Pituah. We were there for 2 years. The landlord had asked us to keep the gardener that he had and coming twice a month, and we would, of course, have to pay for that ourselves. And so we agreed and met this individual. He was a Palestinian. He actually was an Israeli citizen and came across from the West Bank into the area, the Jewish community in which we lived, to with his crew to do landscaping. He had two or three guys that worked with him. So we got to know him and appreciate him, and we shared water and coffee and conversation. I went to cafes with him on occasion to have coffee, and discovered he had a lot of Jewish friends, and he was just really a good man. And we found out that he had been in overseas in Europe studying to become a doctor, but he had to return to Israel under the threat of having his citizenship revoked, or if he didn't live in the country, and he was gone so long. Anyway, it's been like 4 or 5 years maybe. So he came back and started his business. And in time, he invited me to come over to his home. So we crossed that line. Well, I can remember sitting in a restaurant with him in a little town called Kalkilia, and it was on the way from where we lived to where he had his farm, his he had orchards and huge garden. Anyway, so I went over and I met his family and everything. But before we got there, we had lunch, and I can remember sitting there, and there was this guy that was staring at us, and it seemed particularly interested in me, and didn't seem like it was in a good way. So we ate quickly, and my host said, "We need to get out of here." That was him saying it, so we got out of there. Went over to his home, had a really good time, spent several hours, and that was a part of how our relationship was developing. That was a big breakthrough, actually, that he invited me into his home and to meet his family as well. So in time, I he knew what I was there for, and as a pastor and as a missionary, and so I said to him, I want to give you something. It's in Arabic. It's a cassette tape of praise and worship music. Would that be all right? He goes, yes. So I gave it to him, and he kept it in his truck, and he would come over. You'd hear it when he started his car up. When he would leave or come in, you could hear it, and it was in Arabic, and he was just driving through the streets of our Jewish community, playing, hopefully listening, to these Arab artists from Lebanon who were singing praise and worship to the Lord. So I'm thankful for that encounter. It really was an extraordinary encounter, and he was truly a good soul, and we're glad that we met him. That's it.